There should be some wild noise coming your way now. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? I feel like that commercial for the cell phones. I hope you can hear me. I don't know why my microphone is not shut off. You need closed caption. That's hilarious. Okay, good. That's so mortifying. I hate when that happens. My my microphone is on, so I have no idea why that would be the case. Listen, I was telling you that the reason I'm slightly late, and I apologize. I do value your time. Please don't. I don't normally. I'm not normally late. You know that about me. I do value your time, and I'm sorry. I'm just a few seconds late. Oh yay, Jean. Thank you for telling me. Good morning, Kim. Hey, Debbie. Um, I was hanging out at the Vintage Daisy. Well, I was putting my makeup. I was putting my sister-in-law calls it putting her war paint on. I was putting my makeup on, pinning up my hair so it wasn't in my face, and listening to my friend Michelle over on Facebook at the Vintage Daisy. And yesterday we had a video chat. She wanted to chat with me about getting a subscriber option set up on her business page on Facebook, which so many of you support my page over there. So thank you to all my teal badge wearing friends over on Facebook. Um, so yesterday we chatted about it, and when I was on her live, I noticed she had it all set up. So I subscribed to her page. It's $1.99 a month. Is hers. Mine is the same, $1.99 a month. And and then afterwards, like we saw these other people like joining in on her subscription offer, um, to support her page for $2. So I was so excited for her. It was really hard for me to jump off watching all of that happen in real time. It was super, super fun. I'm so excited for her, Debbie, because we chatted about it yesterday. So it's a little funny to me. Facebook's a little gnarly sometimes on the back end. So it doesn't surprise me that she didn't realize that it was fully set up. But I'm so glad that she's got it fully set up, because sometimes you just have to jump into this stuff even though you're not sure. Like, okay, I got to muddle my way around figuring this out. She'll figure it out. I've been doing it for like a year and a half. So anything, I'm always like super open book. Like if there's anything I can do to help a friend, I told her, just call me or message me and I'll see what I can do to help. But she will work it out. She's so smart. Yeah, I'm so excited. It's so exciting. All right, let's get to this the table cam time. Can I show you what we did? How many of you are subscribers over on Facebook? Give a shout out, subscriber shout out in the comments, and I want to hear from you. If you were live with me yesterday, which some of you were, and when I started this book, I'm like stinking in love with it. And sorry for the ruckus. What is wrong with this? Oh, I know what is wrong with this. Tape. I grabbed a bunch of new papers because I need some more papers in this book. So I went through my stash and started grabbing some things. And then I went to my computer and I wanted to grab like some stuff like this because it's going to be a vintagey, because that's kind of this is what I love. So I wanted to grab some postcards and different graphics for this book. So I went online and I was printing some of that stuff out from the subscriptions that I belong to. Creepy Halloween journal kit. See? Right? Nice. Some cool things that we can work in the book. And then I was like, well, if I can print out a couple more pages, so I went to a couple of kits in some of the subscription groups that I belong to. And I grabbed these 2 pages from one kit. Cool, right? I mean, how cute is that? The polka dots in the background. And then I found another kit that I really equally loved. It's a different style, but I think we can make the vibes work together. But look at that page. And that page. So I double-sided these so that I don't have to worry about the white blank on the other side. So we have some of that to contend with this book. But I was just grabbing some more stuff to add to the pages that we already put together for this book. So let's take a peeky deeky. Sorry for the banging. My fancy words that I use. All right, I just used chipboard. I used chipboard fabric batting to make the cover for this book. It's going to be a little book. I wanted it to be tall and skinny. So I just used a fabric that is well, old. Let's start with that. Janice was there. She watched this come together yesterday. Debbie, you missed it. You were there for part of it. Oh, Debbie, but wasn't it exciting to hear the gratitude in her voice? Debbie, I think she was tearing up a little. That I don't know, maybe I'm overanalyzing, but I thought that that's what I heard in her voice, and it makes me so happy for her because she is fabulous. She's so talented, and you subscribing to her page for $2 a month, it's so nominal for us for that $2 a month, but you can see what it means to us when you guys subscribe because it does support us and what we're doing. It helps us buy. Like I really need some new glue because my you have been complaining about this Fabri-Tac being so old, but it's so expensive, you guys. It's like $12 for a bottle of Fabri-Tac. So I've been trying to supplement with other cheaper glues. So it's $2 for you guys, but when a dozen of you do it, it helps us buy a bottle of glue. I mean, it really does help us so much. So thank you, thank you. Not to get too far off topic, but so thrilled for Miss Michelle over at the Vintage Daisy. Gammon is still sick a little bit, Debbie. Yeah, she was a little emotional. He's still sick, but he's at school. Like he's got the residual. The worst of it's over, but residual cough. The sore throat's totally gone. He's tired. You know, he went to work on Saturday, which he probably shouldn't have done. I would have preferred he slept in and rested, but he said he felt good enough to go. So he went to work, which is, super responsible of the child, which I'm proud of and I appreciate. But then later in the day, he's like, oh, Mom, I just don't feel good. And I said, it's because you went to work this morning and your body's not ready for that. Your body's not ready. I wish he had just stayed home, but that's okay. He went to work. He did what he was scheduled. And he said, I couldn't find somebody to replace me. So I went to work. Thank you. You're sweet to ask. Hello, Vicki in Oklahoma. Down to 39 last night. I know it's feeling like fall. You see, for me, and I was talking about this yesterday with the girls, that means I'm ready for the fall stuff. I'm not ready for fall until it's fall. I'm not giving up summer for nothing. I love my summers. So now that I'm feeling fallish, the weather feels fall, the leaves are falling off the trees. It's definitely fall. We've turned the heat on at our house. It's cold up in North Dakota. So I've started this junk journal for creepy for the season, creepy, kind of Halloweeny. And so yesterday I grabbed these pages and there are 11 of them. I just went through some of the stuff I had on hand that would make sense for a creepy journal. Okay. So I had purchased these on Etsy, these digital downloads of this stuff. They were printed on just regular cardstock. And so I have white on the other side. So I have to contend with that. But these were from Louise Heinzel, some collaged papers that I purchased from her to support. I mean, I could make these myself. Yes, I could. But I love to support other creative artists, other creatives. I mean, if it costs me $3 to buy her printables and then I can print them out as many times as I want and use them, that's a no-brainer to me. Like a Facebook subscription, no-brainer to me. If I can throw $2 a month to my friend and help her buy glue so she can keep making books and I can enjoy watching her make them, yes, I will do that. So anyway, these were printables from Louise that I bought and printed, and they were just sitting in my stash. I hadn't found a use for them yet. So anyway, I printed those out. This was from a kit of, it was a junk journal bundle that I purchased from another creative. I sell them in my shop, but I purchased them from somebody else, again, supporting another creative. And this was in that kit, and it feels like it's like a ledger book cover. And it was only partial. Like I think it has been cut down. It doesn't seem like it's the whole thing because those old ledger books are really big. Anyway, I folded that up so it would fit in our book. This, another of Louise Heinzel. So I actually need to put these pages that have white on the other side. That's not allowable in my book. It's not allowable. I don't like the white. I want to do something with it. Spray it with ink, stencil it with paint or with ink, using an ink pad and an applicator. So I'll do something with those. This was just in my stash, a printout, so I cut it to size. This, again, one of you sent me that actually in my stash. This was painted paper from my jelly print, and it does have some glimmer to it. Ooh, it's got some sparkle. Love it. Dictionary page, another printout that I just had on hand, and more of Louise Heinzel's, but these are double-sided. Oh, I have to contend with that white. This was a print. Okay, my printer will print all the way to the edge. I bought a borderless printer is what you're looking for. If you're shopping for a printer, you want a borderless printer if you are a junk journaler, because this avoids getting that white edge around the pretty part. You can go all the way to your edge with a borderless printer. So this was a mishap. I forgot to check that off when I was printing it. And so I have a white border. So I've got to fix that. This one is ready to go. So these are all ready to go. I'm going to put them aside. Let me get a paper clip for them. But I have a little work to do on some of these other pages. And now I've just also introduced all of this. So I'm going to put these aside, the new ones, the new printouts. I'm going to put these aside. I just was grabbing stuff from my stash that would match the vibe of this book. And I wanted to show you. So these have been in my stash for a long time. Again, bought them from another creative. She, I really like her art and I wanted to support her. She was selling a paper pack, so I bought these. These were her designs, things that she had designed. Haven't found a use for them. I bought them a long time ago, so I thought I would cut them down to use them in this book. They are not double-sided, but I'm going to make them a pocket page. So watch and learn. Watch and learn. Let's do it together. All right. I'm going to tear because I like tear. And this, the painter's tape I had already measured where I needed to tear it. And I thought, well, let's not do this off camera. Let's do it with the crew on camera so you guys can see. That's the whole point, that you kind of are able to watch and get inspired and get new ideas for how to put your books together. So that was just to tell me how big to make it. This will not go to waste. Of course, we'll make a tag or something out of it. But both of these need to get torn down so that they fit. Or the other idea, you could always fold this over and have a flap like I did on that ledger journal page. This one, I had that little extra flap. That's another idea for that. But for now, I'm using the top one as my guide for where to tear. Now I have 3 sides that are perfect edged because that was how the paper came, and then these are torn edge. So I want to shred those up a little bit. Hey Gia, let's just chat, can we? I'm on coffee cup number 3, 4. I don't recall. Here's the thing. I generally drink low acid coffee because I have a bladder condition, painful bladder syndrome, and I can't consume things that have a lot of acid in them because it hurts my bladder. So I drink low acid coffee, but I ran out of I can't buy it anywhere in town. I can't find it in town. I buy it online, get it on Amazon. It's delicious. And it allows me to drink coffee happily without my bladder screaming at me. But right now I'm out. So I've been making coffee by the cup, not by the pot. I usually have the grounds and I make a whole pot, and my husband and I each take a couple of cups from it. But the last couple of days I've had to use the pods, just individual single pods, and I lose track of how much I'm drinking. It's so easy to throw another one in and just brew another cup. But this is decaf because Mama don't need no more caffeine. Gia, thanks for saying hi to everybody. I'm so happy there are 15 of you here. Thank you for being here. All right, let's get to shredding. We're just gonna use this little blade thing. You probably could use any blade you have, and it's just gonna shred the edges a little so they're not so perfect. I mean, you could literally cut into them a little bit if you wanted to take out notches, and that's the look I'm going for. I'm going for imperfect. So we're just gonna muck it up. And then I have an idea that is not my own. I'll fully admit I didn't come up with it, but I was watching somebody. I could think of who the heck was I watching. I don't even know, girls. I watch a lot of other creatives myself, and the last couple of days I have been doing that. I've had the time. I'm doing a lot of housework. So when I'm doing housework, I tend to listen to, I haven't been trying to get off the music. I listen to a lot of music, but then I feel like I'm missing out on everything else that's going on in the world, like creative projects or podcasts or the news. So I'm trying to minimize my music a little, just a little bit. I can't completely because I love music. I love it keeping me company. But I've been watching a lot of creative videos, recipe videos lately. I made this most amazing chicken, by the way. I made the most amazing chicken. Again, not my credit. It was a recipe I found on YouTube for crispy chicken, baked crispy chicken. My family loves fried chicken, with the breading, and then I fry it in just a little bit of oil. Love it. We all love the taste of it, but of course that's not good for you. And the oil is expensive if you're just going to go for all that oil. So I made crispy chicken in the oven. It was flipping good. Like, it was crispy and it was perfect, and we all loved it. So anyway, I've been watching a lot of recipe videos. I made some pumpkin spice donuts over the weekend on Saturday. Just was feeling very, very homey. Like I needed to focus on my home and my family and feeding them well and all that jazz. So I've been watching a lot of videos. Okay, what we're going to do with this should be the right size when we fold it in half. And I was going to make these 2 individual pages and then deal with the white blank side. But I saw somebody do this yesterday on a video when she was making her junk journal, and I don't remember who it was. So God bless you, darling, whoever gave me the idea. I apologize for not giving you credit. I doubt she came. I mean, some of these ideas have been around for decades and decades, so I don't know who originally came up with this, but we're going to glue them together so that we make pockets out of them. If I had a sewing machine, it's coming tomorrow. I told the girls yesterday, the subscribers yesterday, I ordered a new sewing machine. Don't tell my husband. He doesn't hang out here on YouTube, so it can be between us. He does pop in on my page on Facebook, but he doesn't really go to YouTube. Gia, I will share that recipe. I can share it. Do you guys know about the community tab here on YouTube? There's a community tab where I can share photos and I can share links. So I will put it there here on YouTube, the recipe. It is a YouTube video for this chicken. It is so easy, you guys. And it takes like a half hour to cook. It was so good. It was crispy and yummy. Some of the kids, we had Maddie. So Landon's girlfriend was here. So it was Landon, Gannon, and Maddie, my husband and I, and we all had this chicken. And some of the kids were dipping it like in barbecue sauce, which was really good. I ate mine plain, and it was so delicious. Hello, Miss Cheryl. Cheryl, let's dish. Cheryl, I don't know if you were, oh, my shoulder's killing me, you guys. I don't know if you were on Michelle's page this morning. She was working on a journal, and I was putting my war makeup on, my war paint, my makeup, and listening to her and watching her do her book. And we were talking about the subscriber thing. Were you there for that? It was so fun. It was so fun. All right. I want to chat, but we got to get some work done. So I'm going to glue, and I got my really old Fabrifix going again. I added a whole bunch of acetate to it, and here it's going again. I think it should be. It was last night. I'm going to glue, generously put a bit of glue on the top and bottom, and we're going to make these into pockets. Okay, girls, I lie. Someday I'm going to be able to buy a new bottle of glue. Girls, I totally got cheap I just got cheap. I don't know, $12 for a bottle of glue. And I'm like, what? This is why I haven't bought a bottle in 8 years, probably. And this bottle has gotten so old that it's thick, and that's why it doesn't come out of my bottle. And Mama just needs some new glue. I need to stop being cheap and go buy the dang glue. It really does work well when it works. I know. I'm so excited for her too. I'm so excited. It was really, really like a total blessing, really, to be there while it was happening. Acetate on the page. I just dripped it on my page. Acetate in the glue because it's just sticky. If you didn't know that, if you have Fabrifix, and it gets thick, do not add water, add acetate. I'm so excited for her. So super excited. I'm excited for you too, because it sounds like your dress sale went pretty darn good yesterday, Cheryl. I'm thrilled for you girls. And nothing makes me happier. Honestly, I'm being totally genuine and sincere in saying that. Nothing makes me happier than to see my creative sisters, creative friends have good success, because it's work. It's work to keep sharing on a daily basis. And, we have to earn some income to make it, to be able to share with you guys daily. So whenever we can earn just a spot of income that helps kind of feed the frenzy, it's a good day. It's a good day. I put that acetate in there, and now I'm just mixing up real good. So you can see it's already, the viscosity is getting better. I promise you, Fabrifix is not this way. It's Grace's Fabrifix is this way, because I'm sure it's like, I'm not lying to you when I say this bottle is probably 7 or 8 years old. I am too, Cheryl. I'm so thankful for you. I am so thankful. Okay, here we go. See, now I can get it on there. I'm just putting a little on the top and bottom. We're going to make a little pocket page. That way I don't have to contend with all this white. I'm going to contend with white on all the other pages. We're going to try to find some creative ways. When you have a printout of a paper, it's white on one side. If you're like me, I don't like that. I don't like it in my book that way. So I try to do something with that, with the white side. So for this one, this format, what we're going to do is we're going to make these into pockets. And now I was thinking about this. I didn't see the other girl do this, but I'm going to add my own touch to this. All right, let's glue down half of it. I'm not going to glue all of it. We're going to glue this down, one on top of the other. No big deal. They've got kind of gnarly edges, which I like. You can handle this. This is not hard work. Just takes a little forethought. Then what I thought I would like, I'm probably going to get some glue on my hands, is to have a little notch cut out, but I want them opposite each other. Okay, so let me show you what I mean. If I got one there showing that that's going to be a pocket, then I'm going to get one here next to it, but on the other page, so that they're not right next to each other. I don't care where they are. I just don't want them. I don't have to measure anything. That's just not my jam. But I'm going to make a couple little notches on these facing pages. And then we're going to glue this together. Why? How did it get crooked? Girls, talk to me. How did I get so crooked? Oh, Jace Louise, what are you doing, Gracie? We're all sorts of crooked today. We're all sorts of crooked. I have a little white peeking out here, but we'll fix it. Okay, so now I have these little notches. I can darken those up. I'm all sorts of crooked, but we're not gonna, we don't get worried about this stuff. We just keep rolling with it. We make it look like we meant to do that. My husband and my kids, we have this little phrase that we've said to the kids since they were really young, when they're off to like activities. And I used to take taekwondo, and they've been in baseball, basketball, you name it. The kids, as they go through the years, they try all kinds of things until they pick their thing. And we used to say to them when they were leaving the house for school or for one activity, my husband used to say, "All right, boys, what are we here to do?" And the boys will say, "We're here to take over. We're not taking part, we're taking over." Like, dominate your day, man. Dominate your day. It's a good little mantra for kids, just in a way of not taking part. We're not going to just sit around and do status quo. We're here to take over, man. Just kind of a little family joke. All right, we're darkening it up. Those spots where those little notches are, I wish I did them a little deeper, but it's not the end of the world. I like gnarly things. I like things to be super distressed. I like things to look old and not brand new. I don't want it to look like brand new paper, so we're just stressing it. This is why I love Louise Hansel's style so much. I follow her on YouTube, and I love her style so much because she loves grunge as well. She's way better at it than I am, to be truthful. She does more grunge than she does vintage, and I like both. So I tend to do a combination of both grunge and vintage. But I really, really admire her stuff and her work. Okay, so now that it's all glued together, grunged up, we can fold this in half. We should really wait until it's completely dry, but you know me, we're going to push the limits and do it right now. Good morning, Mary Lenovic. How are you, friend? Okay, so now we've got double-sided. We're not worried about white anymore, and we have these little pockets that we can use. I really should stop pulling and tugging on this because it needs to dry. That's what I should do. I should leave it alone. In fact, let's put it under here so it sits flat and the glue sticks together and dries. Okay, this one, I guess I could actually, has that fantastic dude on there. I could actually just tear this down so the page was a little bit shorter. Yes, I could do that, but I don't want to cut into him. And if I were to tear that down, I'm definitely cutting into him. I guess it wouldn't be, I mean, we'd lose like that much. It wouldn't be all of him. This is double-sided. That would be the easiest way to contend this. Or we could washi tape. We could put paint on there. We could do anything we wanted. I have a ton of washi tape. I'm looking up at, I have this black washi tape I'm seeing right here that has moons and stars on them, and it's foiled. Should we use that? Why not? Just, it's a good way to use up our washi tape, no? It's going to contend with that. I don't want to lose my raw edge. So I better contend with that first. So I better blacken these up and then cover it with the black tape. That way I don't have these bright white edges hanging out. And if I'm going to do it on both sides, it means, oh, I don't have to do it on this side, but I am going to darken up these so they match. I just don't have to do as much as I did on the other side. You can't even tell because Louise's style is so grungy. Anyway. All right, let's do it. We better use a little glue. Hey, Patricia, how are you? It's all good. We love that you're here. Late or not late, we're just happy to have your company. Who is anybody else creating today? And who's working on junk journaling? Okay, a little bit of glue here. Same thing. I'm really trying to use up this glue so I don't have to throw it out. So now that I've got it flowing again, let's just use it. And I want to go edge to edge. This is really, do I want it the other way, Grace? I do. I'm being top sensitive, meaning like I want the stars and the moon, crescent moons hanging down. Come on. It's the raw edge that's throwing me off. Okay. I don't need it on this side. Oh, remember, this page is upside down, so now my tape is upside down. It's all good. Gracie, I get my own way. You did it to yourself, as my dad used to say. Good morning, Grace. Getting ready to leave for the airport, flying from Phoenix to Minneapolis. I'm going home to see my grandkids, 5 of them. Any chance you'll be in Minneapolis? Oh, gosh. Leslie, I wish I could come see you. Minneapolis is like a 9-hour drive for us. Man alive, wouldn't that be fun? Oh, wow. You're going to have a great time visiting your family. Aren't you, though? And were you part of, I'm going to teach 2 of them to junk journal. Yay, 10 and 6. It's perfect for them. Oh, yes, yes. Get it. That's just perfect. That's a perfect activity, fall activity to do any time of year. But of course, when the weather starts getting cool, it's like you're looking for indoor things to do with kids. I hope they fall in love with it. I hope it's something you guys can share for years. Debbie's been mass making paper and fabric clusters after watching you. Yay. I was thinking yesterday to myself, Debbie, that is something I could be doing too, because I could use more of them in my stash. Okay, I think if I'm going to do 2 sides, I'm trying to hide, you know, the white stuff. I need to do this one, but I'm going to use a different tape from this little set. Maybe I'll use this one just to break it up a little. Where's the beginning? Where's the start of you? This one has gold foil accents. This has silver foil. Doesn't matter. Like the color doesn't matter to me. Listen, girls, this is the thing. You got to use up your tape. You got to use your washi tapes because they will dry out on you. Look at this one's not tearing properly because I think because it's just drying out. It's really hard and I did it. So don't do what I did. It's really, really hard to pass up on pretty washi tape when you see it at the store or you see it online and you see someone using one in a project that you like, you're like, oh man, that's awesome. And you want that washi tape. Yep, because it's awesome. And I can see myself using that washi tape. Well, when you get so much washi tape that you can't use it and it dries up, that makes for a sad Gracie. Makes for a sad girl. Because there's nothing, I hate wasting stuff, man. I hate it. All right, I don't want this to look too linear. I'm like really tearing these edges rough on purpose so that they look super grungy. But use your washi tape, friends, use your washi tape. And I'm going to keep this out because maybe if I can use those 2 patterns somewhere else in the book, it would make a lot of sense. Okay, that has been contended with and is done. All right, let's look at the others. I've been masking people for no. Leslie, I'm so excited for your trip. I mean, that sounds like a great trip. From Phoenix to Minneapolis, that's not a big flight. It's a couple hours maybe, hour and a half. It takes us 2 hours to get from here to Denver on a flight, on one of the small planes that holds like 25 people or something. So if you're on a big plane, I bet it's going to take it's going to be a lot faster. All right, we got to contend with these. I have 3 that have white. I could glue together 2 more and make, if I'm going to do, actually, let's do that because if I'm doing 2 signatures, I could have 1 pocket page per signature, right? And I'm actually going to do this. Let's see if I can do this all at once. And I'm going to make these bigger. I'm going to go up. I'm going to make them bigger, and I landed on my chest. And I'm going to offset them at the same time, right? Because now I have my offsets. There's one, there's the other. Does that make sense? There's one, there's the other. Like little finger tabs saying this is where you open this pocket. Because I want you to be able to see it from both sides, if that makes any sense at all. Okay, now I put stuff away too soon. 3 hours. Okay, gotcha. Well, and there's a time difference. There's a time difference. So it's actually probably, you're going to be jumping ahead in time. I don't know. The time zone stuff always gets me mucked up. Seriously. Especially when I'm traveling, I'm like, wait, I'm going west. So it means the time is going to jump what direction? Because the flight would be maybe 2 hours, but on your schedule, it looks like it's 3 hours, but it's really not because you're going. All right, I am doing that so that it's not so perfectly white. And then what we'll do is we'll come around and add that all over the edges too. When you open this pocket, you're going to see this a bit, just a tish. So I want to darken up these edges. Nothing super fancy going on here. We're going to glue them together. But before we do, well, maybe we should glue it and then we can do that part. Well, this is a fast way to contend with blank white pages. I'm going to have to do a count now. I have lots of things that I can use. Now, stashed over here to the right of me that I showed you earlier, that I can use to create these pages. I need a few more pages in this book. I'm going to do 2 signatures, and I'm thinking if each signature has 7 pieces of paper, 7 pages, that gives me 14 pages to flip through because there's one on each side, right? So that's a good number. I mean, I want it to be semi-straight. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, but for good gracious, I was really crooked last time. All right. I didn't even look it upside down or right side up. Doesn't matter to me. Her pages are neutral enough that it doesn't matter. Did my phone automatically advance, or am I just losing it? Leslie. I know. When I'm on the plane and, you know, your phone is in airplane mode and we get to our destination, it's like, wait a minute. Why is this flight an hour early or an hour late? It's like, oh my gosh, we're really late. And then you turn on the cellular and then the time zone updates and you're like, oh, I forgot about that time zone change again. I had never really dealt in time zones until I moved to North Dakota because I didn't really know anybody from anywhere else in the country. I went to college in Pennsylvania, still Eastern time zone. I lived in New England my whole life. So the time zone thing was totally new to me. When I moved to North Dakota, I'm like, wow, I'm far enough west that it's not the same time at home, meaning Boston, as it is here. So it still trips me up though. All right, that one's ready. Good stuff. We can handle that. I'm going to put it in with the others. And all right, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It actually brought me down in pages because I just combined 2. Now I have to do something with this to color it. And I'm thinking just to spray, just because I love the look of it. So let's grab some sprays. This is a funky green color called Olive. Oh, it's not even open. Let's not use that one. I don't feel like dealing with the wrapper. This one just has brown in it. Nope, gray. Oh, that'll work. We're going to spray this and put it aside. We need color of any form because I just don't want it to be plain. Here's crushed olive. You don't do time changes in there, but then it really messes. Woo! Look at that vibrant color. It really messes with your head then. I didn't realize. I mean, I forgot. I shouldn't say I didn't realize. I forgot that that was the case for some people in the country. Thanks, Leslie. Oh, pretty. Chipped sapphire. I need color, girls, and we're not going to worry about, I mean, it's totally grunge, the whole book anyway, and this will all get covered with stuff. So we're just adding color. This is a good way when you have white backs, when you have, you know, pages that are white on the other side. It's a really good way to get them not white. And I missed some spots, so I'm just going to like dip it in there. Press it on itself. The color's coming through on the grungy Louise Heinzel paper, and that's totally cool with me. Put this aside to dry, and we got to come up with several more pages. This will be, I think, just a design element somehow. I'm not going to worry about that. But let's grab, I have some decorative scrapbook paper, white on one side, decorative on the other that I can use. Oh, and I have these. These will become pages, but they're too big. So I printed these 2 out. So it's 2 more double-sided pages for the book. They're too big though, so I've got to get my size right. Let's do these first. These will be easiest. I've got to chop something off here, and I'm not losing that skeleton. And on the other side, I could chop off the bottom here to make it the right height. What were we at? 8.5? What were we? Let's remind ourselves because we've got an old brain. Not even. Grace, where is your book cover? Way over here. Hang tight, girls. Hang tight. I'm trying to lean. I'm leaning back. If you hear a crash, call 911. Okay, there we go. I was leaning. in a way that a 50-year-old body doesn't want to move. Okay, where are we? It's 8 1/4. We need 8 1/4 high. High, 8 1/4 high. So let's see it, girls. We go like this. We got to chop off something. I'm not losing her. She is magnificent. So let's count. Line this up on our little grid here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8. Oh, I just need to take a tish. A tish off. It's just a tish. This little bit, and we should be good. Oh my word, if I fell. How did I end up in North Dakota? My husband grew up in North Dakota. I met him in Massachusetts. He was on a family reunion with my best friend. So my husband is my cousin's, my husband is my friend's cousin. So she came to Massachusetts for a family reunion in 1997. And, all right, we got to cut it this way too, because it's too wide. It has to be 4 1/4, doesn't it, girls? Hold on. Let's double check before we tell the rest of the story. You need it to be 4 1/4. So 4 1/4 and 4 1/4 is 8 1/2. I get 8 1/2 inches of this. So something's going to get lost in translation. Something's going to get lost. I got to cut a bit of this off, unless if we go 8 1/2 here, then I can fold that. That can be a fold. 8 1/4. Do we need 8 1/4? No, 8 1/2, Grace. Okay, before I do anything, I want matching edges, so let's tear a little bit off of each edge. Went to college in Pennsylvania. My girlfriend, Holly, who is my husband's cousin, grew up in New York, in Rochester, New York. Well, that's where she lived at the time we were in college. And I moved back to Boston to go to graduate school and to live with my dad while I was going to graduate school. And she and her family, who, ironically enough, grew up in Massachusetts, south of Boston. Her mother and my mother-in-law, her sister, her mom's sister, they grew up in Milton, Massachusetts. So had roots in Massachusetts. So they have their family reunion in Massachusetts on the Cape. When they have it, that's where they've been having it. So she was having a family reunion and said to me, "You've got to come meet my cousin from North Dakota." I was like, "Really? Really?" She's like, "Yeah, you guys are going to get along great. Come meet my cousin." So I went to Cape Cod and met her cousin, and we started dating, like kind of did a long distance thing for like a year. And then it got really hard to date long distance for a year. So we decided one of us had to move, and he had just bought into his family business. I had just graduated from graduate school and I had a full-time job, but I didn't have a house. I didn't even own a car at the time. I was like, yeah, I guess I can move. What's the big deal? If it doesn't work out, I'll move back home. Well, here I am 23 years later. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. This section is 8 1/2. So when I fold it in half, it's going to be the right size to be in the book. And then, so I don't lose any of the imagery, if I make this an additional flap or fold that opens in my book, that's the way to salvage that imagery and not lose it. Okay, so that's kind of the way I was thinking about it. Yeah, it's sweet, right? So there's my little ghost. Fantastic. And then you open this and you get her. And then we have this little flap. Cool, right? Cool, I think so. Where is my... You do it to yourself every time, Gracie. Every time, my bone folder, I can't find it. All right, another page done. Yeah, we'll do the same thing to the crows. So I'm just collecting my pages here until they're all ready to be sewn in. Okay, same thing here. I don't want to lose imagery. I got paper on my boobs again. The flip out, right, Debbie? Make it so easy. Like you don't have to lose stuff. We don't have to lose. Okay, there it is. All right. So first of all, it's too tall. It needs to be 8 1/4 and it's 8 1/2. So we got to get 1/4 of an inch off. So let's pull it off. Actually, let's go this way this time. I saw somebody yesterday do it this way. I always put the biggest part under my ruler and tear the smallest. And I saw somebody do it the other way. Oh, my shoulder. Ouch. I saw somebody do it this way yesterday. I'm like, I wonder if that's really easier. So instead, you put under the ruler, you put the 1/4 inch that you want to get rid of. That's why the grid line really helps. 1/4 inch you want to get rid of, and you hold that down real tight. I have a feeling it's going to pop out of here. Oh, no, it did not. That is so much easier. Because that is really hard. You see me always struggling to get that tiny little strip out. That was way easier. All right, we need some torn edges though, like all the, oh, let's do it. I'm going to tear edges all the way around just so that they're torn. Not because, and whoops, if I tear, I'm not trying to go for super straight here. I actually want it to be a little bit gnarly. So I'm going to tear it wacky, like tear it this way, pull the paper that way, so that I get different shapes to that. It's not like completely solid. We're going for wacky. Just a little bit off each side. You could also use that tear tool, but to me this is faster and feels more authentic than the little distress tool. All right, one more side, and then we contend with, this is going to take some getting used to, but I think it is easier this way. Then we'll contend with the size of this. We're going to make it work. These crows are amazing. I actually was thinking about if I could print this off and put it on my wall or above my mantle. It came from the same set that the ghost came from. Okay, I need it to be, I don't want to lose my skeleton. I need it to be 8 1/2. So like right here, by this other crow is the fold line. We could do the same thing. I could cut this here. I could cut it there. I mean, I'm not losing anything there. It's not a big deal if we didn't have that there. But here we're going to lose part of a crow. So let's fold it. And then fold it. Is that the way I want to do it? So this is how it would look when it's in the book. So that page would look like that in the book, unless I opened the flap. The other option is to go this way so that that's cut short. And then I open this to see my crows. I'd rather have it that way. So I see my crows in their totality. Okay, another page done. We're rocking through them, girls. All right, let us see. I have 5 pages over here on the side that, my jaw. You girls, I just got pain everywhere. I got 5 pages over here on the side that I got to figure out some more pages for the book. Like, you know, things that I can do. Now I saw another lady, did a folder with a 12 by 12 piece of paper. Now I don't know if this is going to work, but let's try it. If I remember right, she did this. I don't know if this is going to be too tall for this. So let's just see what we get. I want to make sure I'm pretty good lined up. It's not going to be perfect, but it's not perfect over here, but it's okay. We could always cut that or tear that off. Got that white edge there. I just don't even know. Let me see if I can even remember how she did this. She did something like that. That is going to be where you sew it into your book, and then we're flipping these to make like double pockets. This is a lot, actually, like what we did in the altered composition books that we made in the Craft Therapy Club last month. I don't love this point. I will say that much. And let me think through this. Is this has to be 4 1/4. Is it 4 1/4? It's just. So I think I'm going to fold it in a little bit more. Make it a little bit more narrow. And then if I have to get rid of that tip, I would rather get rid of that tip than anything. So let's fold them both at the same spot. So crooked, you guys, it's not even funny. I don't love how linear it is. I want it to be grungy. I suppose I could fold this going this way instead. But then I would have 2 folds going the same direction. Okay, I don't love how it's so perfect. We could easily put some paper over this to make it like less perfect. I just need to test what is this going to look like in a book. So say we just have a couple of these pages randomly together. This is probably a bad one to put it next to because that already has a fold on it. But I'm just trying to show you how this would work out in a book. Okay, so you sew it in. See, I don't like that. We got to get rid of that point. You sew it in so that when you're opening it, when you're flipping through your book, you're going to glue this down so that you have like a little pocket here. You could actually have 2 pockets if you wanted to. You have one there and then one right there. And then you could make this also a pocket, this opening right here. So yeah, we can do that. And then, so you flip, that's going to look like that. And then you're going to come to this again, which actually, I'm going to go this way. Is it sticking out too far? No, it's not sticking out too far, but it does have that. So we got to get rid of that point up there. It's got to go. It's got to go, girls. All right. Never made one of these before. I'm doing it now. I'm going to get rid of this like little tip right here. Of course, we're going to tear it. And we got to make these gnarly. I can't handle how straight they are. So let's take maybe some of our scraps and we're going to do something, or fabric would work, or lace, or snippet roll, something that we can put on there that's going to look gnarly and not so perfect. Let's look at these things. Like, is there like a tab or something from here that we could put on these? Just looking at what I got. These could go in the pockets, these little postcards. Okay, we're just going to use scraps of paper, and we have plenty. I'm not seeing any comments, so I hope you guys are still there. You can still hear me. I'm going to go to my book and just see real quick, my box, I should say, if there's any left. Yeah, there's tons of leftover strips of paper here that we could use to gnarly up these edges so they're not so perfect. Like, take that, for example, and I would need it to be this big. Kind of like the look of this one. And a little shorter. And if I glued this down, it needs to be more narrow, but I could use this on both sides if I chop it in half. Right, if I get it. You could also fold it over the edge, but what if we did this? Well, it wasn't quite in half, but it's okay. And we glued this down here. It's going to make it look less perfect, which I think is what I want. So I'm going to put the glue on here. Hey, Michelle, how are you, friend? How are you? I had so much fun hanging out with you this morning. I told the girls you were keeping me company while I was putting my sister-in-law calls it her war paint when she's putting her makeup on. I was doing my makeup, fixing my hair, pulling it back so it wasn't in my face, and hanging out with you. And then, gosh, I had so much fun. I had a hard time leaving you. I told the girls I was a little bit late for my live because I was hanging out with you and just I had a smile going across my whole face because of the conversation and all the little teal hearts that were appearing. So super happy. Okay, that I like a little better. In fact, I think I don't even like this one's looking a little straight for me, so I'm gonna muck this one up too. I think I would have been smart to put a little bit of fabric on here. So I think on the other one, it's maybe too late on this side, but come on, I need to grab you so that I have some gripping power here. I get my finger doesn't reach. Okay, I like that even better. Like we're going for grunge here. We're going for grunge. That'll be a cute little pocket, little grungy tab. I should do the same thing up here because I don't love the look of the straightness. I don't like the look of the, which way are we going, Grace? Make a decision. I don't like the look of how straight the paper is. So we're gluing these strips on. And actually it's helping us because this paper pattern is so similar all the way around. It's helping us distinguish where that pocket opening is. So that's a good thing. I might add a staple or something like a little metal embellishment or fabric embellishment on here too. Oh, Michelle, I'm so happy for you. It's like genuinely made my morning. I was so excited. Like I said, I didn't want to leave. I was like, no, I gotta go. But it was fun to be there. Okay, good. I'm good with that. Now let's deal with this. I wouldn't mind getting a spot of fabric on here, to be truthful with you. Let's tear. I'm not even going to use the ruler. I'm going to go super grunge here. We're going to tear this. I'm going to darken it up a little. I was telling Michelle when Michelle and I were chatting, I had just come from our local library is having the semi-annual sale. So I had gone and just got this treasure of books to use for junk journaling. So I'm super excited about that. I might go back. I might go back, guys. I just might go back to that sale. Okay, if this is here, oh my gosh, right? I love it. That's good stuff right there. Before we glue anything else together or down, I got to figure out these little details though. Come on, glue. Work with me. May the odds ever be at your favor is how I feel every time I hold this bottle in my hand. It's like I need to have a buy Grace a bottle of glue fund. When I was young, my hair was this is funny. I don't know why this made me think of this. My hair was a lot more fair than it is now. When I was like elementary school and younger, my hair was more like, we called it dirty blonde. It wasn't really brown, it wasn't really blonde. It was kind of like in between. And I didn't really have eyebrows, to be truthful with you. And we had a family friend who used to say, I'm gonna start a fund, buy Grace some eyebrows. And it was so mean, actually, now that I think of it, that he used to say that to me. But at the time I did think it was funny. Like, yeah, you're really funny. Okay, I don't like this color. I did this one, but I don't really like the color. But you know what, Grace? In the spirit of not throwing things away, let's do it. I'm going to do it anyway. Even though I don't love the color. It's neutral. It doesn't have to all be matchy-matchy. A junk journal, you know, that's the beauty of it. You're using up stuff, so you don't have to throw it out. And this is super grunged. Obviously, we're going grungy here. I'm going to go up a little higher with that piece. Nice. Okay, this is a little too straight for me. Got to get knocked down and grunged up a little more. Yeah, so we need to I need to buy myself a glue bottle. a new one. I can't wait. I'm frugal Fanny though. I'm not going to buy a new glue until the old glue is out completely. That's why I've been on a mission to use up the glue. Use up the glue. We're all kindred spirits. A local library has a sale every third Saturday. After talking to you, I feel the need to visit every third Saturday. Oh, mine does it twice a year, and so I feel like a total hoard. When it happens, I'm like, oh, I got to buy all the things because it's not going to come now for another 6 months. So I better buy all the things. So when we open these pockets on this, we didn't want for that to glue down. Come on, be very careful now, Gracie. Pay attention. When we open all these pockets on this, these ones. We may want these to not be totally white underneath there. I'm trying to find a piece of paper that has white on one side. Let's use this one. It's a good one. So I'm going to grunge up even the inside just a little bit so that if you open these pockets, if you peek them open, you're not going to see just bright white staring at you like a headlamp. We're mucking it up, girls. We're mucking it up. Okay. Got to be careful with your glue. Like we're gluing multiple times on this thing that we're not gluing our pockets shut, which almost just happened. Okay, I think that's going to be good. I can keep embellishing these pages if I want. I can add strips of fabric. I have all those postcards and tags and all that. But in general, the shape of that is what it needs to be. And it's going to get sewn here. So I can go ahead and glue this down on the bottom so that I create the actual little tuck spot. It's where you bought your Green Pastures book? Does everybody's local library have these sales? Man. And it just occurred to me. I don't know why. It just occurred to me. Like, man, that would be a totally worth a day trip for me. It's a day trip to get to like one of the other bigger towns in North Dakota. Landon has a football game this weekend and it's 90 miles away. And I don't know why. My husband told me yesterday, he's like, Grace, you do know that the game is on Thursday, not on Friday. I'm like, what? I said, I absolutely did not know that. I had, because football's on Friday nights. They're like, no, this game is on Thursday. I would have totally missed it. So we're going to drive to Grand Forks for this game on Thursday now. But it would be totally worth going, although, that far for a library sale. If I knew one was happening, I should get on their local library, like the Grand Forks Library email list, because that would be amazing. All right, we got our little tuck spots being created here. We're going to let this dry, but in general, we have another page here. Let's do a quick count of all our pages because I wanted, I think, 7 for each signature. So let's look and see what we've got. We've got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I need 2 more pages. You got this, Gracie. 2 more pages. I have all these here that we can do something with. So we could, I've got the double side issue here again. They need to be 8 and what? 8 1/4. Is that what we said? They need to be here. This is what I do more often than anything. The pages have to be that tall. That's how tall they need to be. But we could do pocket pages like that, where we have this built-in pocket, right? We could do that. And let's figure it out. It also needs to be that wide. So I could pull all of this off. I have a lot of flips and folds, so I don't necessarily want more flips and folds, to be honest with you. So even though this could be used as a flip and fold, let's take it off. this could be our page, and I don't want the white, of course, and I don't like the pockets being so tall, so we're just going to work with this and make it what we want it to be. Okay, these are too tall, so we'll do something to get them down lower. I'm going to tear them this way. I'm going to grunge them up. I'm purposefully tearing quite a bit, and I'm purposefully tearing them wonky. So they look more like that. Then this background, it's not going to be, it can't just be white, right? So we're not going to do that. So I grabbed extra papers thinking we could, you know, use these together. Like if I glue that down on there, it would look like that. I'd have pockets that look like that, which I do like a lot. So let's do that. So we're going to tear this. And it also gives your pages some thickness, which is nice. Like it makes them a little more sturdy. So we're going to tear those two marks and then glue that piece down. Oh, I have that page sitting over there. Almost forgot about it. That is drying. I should try to be straight here, shouldn't I, girls? I got to see my grid marks. Gracie, the paper's too long, too big for this mat, but I'm trying to make it work. I'm trying. Okay, I think that's the line. I have that other piece of paper drying over there, the one that we sprayed. This looks too big to me. Did I measure wrong again? Did I mark it wrong? Did I measure it wrong? It wouldn't be the first time. Nope, it's good. All right, so see what I'm going to do? I'm just going to glue this down on here so that it's somewhat decorative. See? Easy breezy lemon squeezy. What glue? What glue? Your local library has sales, Debbie. Do you go to them? Like with pleasure. I get so excited. Not because I'm going to read the books, girls. That's the, and I when I was shopping yesterday, first of all, they start the sale on the Friday before. So it had started on Friday and it ran Friday and Saturday. They're not open on Sunday. So it ran Friday and Saturday. And on Friday and Saturday, they have a per book price. Hardcover books are $1. I don't know what it is, but like, you know what I'm saying. Hard books are $1. Soft covers are this much. Children's books cost this much, whatever. But then when they get through, this is going to be too big. It's okay. It's all good. When they get through Friday and Saturday, then they do just like bag sale. So every bag that you fill is $5 for a bag of books. So that's what I was taking part in yesterday. And I was shopping and thinking to myself, I'm not planning on reading almost any of these books. There were a couple that I picked up that I was like, this is so interesting. I found a book of letters. How about this? A book of letters. We got to get rid of that white. From famous men to their mothers. And I was like, oh, I need that. It's a letters to mama book. I'm going to try it the other way. Like I just said, I'm going to try to get used to doing it this way. I think it probably is easier, Gracie. I'm wicked crooked, number one, and I need kind of a torn edge. All right, that's better looking. A tea books during the month has on sale, but our big sale is 2 times a year. What does tea books mean, Leslie? Our county has a library sale twice a year. I just went last Friday and spent $30 and got so many books. Isn't it so exciting? Debbie, I think Debbie said, you got to show us your books. I bought 4 bags of books, which was so exciting. And I had Ganna move them for me today. So yesterday, you know, I had to handle it all by myself. I had no helpers. I'm going to muck this up with my little tool. But today I said to Gannon, as he was getting ready, he was putting his shoes on for school. And I was like, can you please go get my books and bring them to me? He's like, where are they? They're in my car. So he went to get them and he's like, holy mom, you bought a bunch of books. I'm like, Gannon, you can't be surprised by that, child. I said, I think I'm going to go back today. He's like, you can't, mom. This is a lot of books. I was like, Insert evil laugh. I really did just like that. He's like, you can't go back. I'm like, oh, you just wait, boy. I ran out of time. I told Michelle the only reason I left is because I ran out of time. But I need a little more time at the book sale. I'm sure there are books screaming for me to take them home. But that book of letters to mothers, I was like, oh, I need that book. I might read. I did read a few pages of it yesterday while I was standing there. I get lost. So like it's like, focus, Grace, focus. You're not here to read books. Okay, I'm loving this. I'm just trying to decide how do I want it in the book. I think I really would. I think I like this enough that instead of having it potentially on one page, I'm going to do this, and then I think it'll get separated. It doesn't matter. I'm just thinking out loud. They have $3 book sales at the end of the month. That's on my calendar for sure. So Debbie, is there a type of book? Like, do they do children's books one week and then a different book another week? Or is it just whatever they have? You get what you get. Because I buy children's books too, because sometimes those children's books have beautiful, beautiful illustrations in them that are just great to have in your junk journals. And I was telling Michelle, especially if I know this book is going to get thrown out if someone doesn't buy it because it's so worn and torn. I picked up a book yesterday. It didn't even have a cover. The cover was completely torn off of it. And I know they're just going to throw it out at the end of the sale if it doesn't sell. Okay, there's another page. Yay, it's got to dry, but yay, that one's done. How many did I count, girls? I lost track. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I have 14. I have 14. I have 14. We did it. Hold on. Because I forgot about that one that's drying over here. Remember this one? That's over there drying. It feels really plain to me now. I have a lot of pages that are like got special features to them. I don't have a paper bag in here. Oh, I was thinking for the cover, for inside the cover, that might be really fun to put an insulated bag. So I might do that with the cover. I was just thinking about that. See, it's funny when I'm not with my books, I'm thinking about my books. Okay, I may want to break this up a little bit. So I'm going to use this extra piece of paper. Okay, that fold is telling me that's how tall it needs to be. So I'm going to use this extra piece of paper, and we are going to glue it down in the middle just to break up the sprays. All right, it's so much easier, Gracie, when you have just a sliver that you want to take off, if you do it this way. My son acted the same way, Leslie says, till he found a huge collection of the series. In the end, he bought far more than I did. I don't have any problems with buying books anymore. Right, Leslie, right. The only issue I have, I love buying them. I told Michelle yesterday when we were chatting on the phone that I love the feeling that I'm saving this book from the dumpster. I feel like I'm doing a work of good, like in the world, by saving this book from Dumpsterville. But my problem is space. I gotta use up more of these books. I gotta create faster, girls. We gotta just create faster. That's all there is to it. This is still wet, by the way, so I'm really taking a risk here because my ink is still wet. Let's just not be too hasty. The letter book sounds like it could be a good one to share with the subscribers after we finish the letters. Mary, don't let me forget. Don't let me forget that, Mary, please. Because I don't see myself pulling that book apart. I really was so excited that I found it, that it existed. And since we've been doing the love letters, we've been doing a love letter series with subscribers. And since I've been doing that with you guys, the books that I found that are love letters written to or from, like husband, wife, or love letters from the war, I just am totally drawn to them. And I've been buying them if I find them at their store at one of these sales. I'm completely drawn into those love letter books. So Mary, quite contrary. What? My sister's name is Mary, and we used to say that all the time to her, that little nursery rhyme or whatever that is. Please remind me, Mary. Don't let me forget. At the very least, I can show it to you now because we still have quite a few weeks left in the love letter series, and I haven't gotten my next one. It has not come in the mail. I'm waiting eagerly. Okay, the only purpose of this is to break up the look of the page. That's all I'm trying to do here. And I have the extra paper anyway. It's just sitting around. So this is just going to make it less painted looking. So when I fold this back up to go in my book, and this is sewn into a page, and I open up, it's not going to just look painted. It's going to have some other little element on it. I like the way this one turned out more because it's more distressed and grungy, to be honest with you. This is still drying. It is still fairly wet because we just sprayed it with all those inks. So we can let that go for a minute here. Okay, I'm going to do a little cleanup and assess where we are with this. First of all, look at the mess that I leave myself. You did it to yourself, Gracie. All right, all my extra papers, we keep them all together because we'll be using those in the book for embellishments and all that jazz. Cover the glue, put away the little hole puncher. The washi tape can stay out. I'm going to keep these with this kit because they match, and if I'm looking for backings for tags or something, I will have that paper readily available to me. All right, let's put away this. We're just going to do a little assessment of where we are here in a second. After I don't want to throw that out. It's a perfectly good piece of paper. The former President George Bush used to write these beautiful letters to his wife. They've been published in a book. I love that. I think it's so sweet. And how intimate, like to be reading their love letters to each other. I think it's such a beautiful thing. Okay, we're not throwing that out. It's got to find a home somewhere. Girls, I can't just throw out a perfectly good piece of paper. No, sorry. I'm not going to do it. You're not sticking down properly. So hitting you up with some glue. All right. I don't know why. I just stuck it there because I don't want to waste it. These are all slithers that I can't salvage them. Okay. We got glue everywhere. We got stuff everywhere. Oh, I have 15 pages. I forgot about that one under there. That's my pocket one that we put under there. Oh, for goodness sake, Gracie. All right. Has anybody ever done two signatures with an uneven number of pages in them? Listen, it's not the end of the world, right? And really, you can make your own rules. So if I have 15 pages, maybe we're going to use the 15. Let's just take a peek. They are all very busy. I was a little worried about this, that all of my pages are rather busy. However, I haven't even started with the decorating part of it. So let's just see just potentially how these could come together. Now, I said that these pages that have the pockets, I just stuck them in here without thought. Here's one with a pocket. These could be the covers to the two signatures. Where's the other one? That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Oh, good gravy, Gracie. Girls, here it is. So say, where did it go? All right, this is the other one that has those little pockets, right? So those could be the covers. Very different, but it's okay. One's from Maramy and one is from Louisa. Now we start filling. I want this creepy paper I have the crow paper, and I have this one from the same set that I absolutely love. But I'm going to make sure they make it into, see the opposite side of these? These two came from the same set. These two came from the same set. And you can tell, like, the theme is so perfectly matched, right? So I'm going to make sure one makes it into one and one makes it into the other. Maybe not in this order, but I just want to separate evenly. Like if I have a pocket and a pocket, these are both little pocket pages. We're going to make sure one makes it to one side and one makes it to the other because I want them evenly distributed for weight and interface. Like when you're flipping through the book and I love all the interactive elements like flips and folds and tucks, beads and danglies. I want it equally distributed throughout the book. Okay, these are 2 short pages. They're both rather short. Oh, I have 3 shorts. Do I have a 4th short one? No, I have 3 shorts. This one is short too, but it's just not as short as the other 2. So let's make sure 2 make it to one side and 2 make it to the other side. So here we have lots of color so far. Let's put this one in here and a plain one in here. They're not in the right order. I'm just right now worried about making sure that they each have equal number of pockets, equal number of short pages, equal number of whatever, you know, we're trying to make them similar. Okay, there's nothing about these. These are all just plain pages. There's no foldouts, no pockets, no nothing. So it doesn't really matter. But you see, these 2 are from the same grunge set from Louisa. So I'm going to put one on one side, one on the other. Same thing. You just have to make a decision. I have this big green pocket page here. So I'm going to put this big green page on this side. That should be even. That should be even. So let's test it. And I got a test for thickness too. I don't know that. Why is that page so much longer than all the others? What's going on right there? You, my friend, you little cheater. Why? What are you doing to me? You're not the right size. You're trying to sneak past me. You're supposed to be this tall. Oh my gosh, you guys, speaking of you're supposed to be this tall, Gannon grew another inch. And now when he goes down the steps of our house, like down to the basement where his bedroom is, this is all crooked and wonky. He's been banging his head on the overhang. The poor kid, he came up yesterday. He's like, I just banged my head. I said, on what? On the ceiling. When he takes the step up, the overhang is low enough that now at 5'10", he's now 5'10", he bangs his head. I was like, kid, I said to him, I'm like, come on, like on my desk. On my door jamb to my office, I've been tracking his height because he keeps growing so fast. So I said, come on over to them. I want to see how tall you are. So we went over there and he has grown an inch since the last time we measured him. So I was like, dang kid, you are getting tall. I might like this sweet little page right in the middle. Oh, and that would break up that tape nicely. All right, now we just have to decide what order we want them in. Oh, we have an extra page. Let's see. Let's see. 1 page. This is 2 pages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this does have 7 pages to it. I don't like the order, so I'll change them up a little bit. But that has 7. 1, 2, 3. That's cool together. 4. Getting distracted. 5, 6, 7. No, one of them's going to have 8 unless I decide to do something different. Before I make that decision, this is 7 and 7. They are kind of hefty for my little book. Here's my book. Let's just see what is that going to feel like in there. It's pretty thick as it is, girls. We're going to get an alligator mouth with her. And we haven't even. So maybe we just take this. Was intended to be a page, but we can turn it into something else. I'm not going to worry about it. Whoa, almost went off the desk. Yeah, so there we go. We got our signatures together. I just have to decide what order I want them in. Before I do any of that, I really do, where's that ink page? It still is wet. I need to not stuff it in here and force it to do anything yet. I'm going to lay out the wet stuff, let it dry completely, and then the next time I'll put them together for sure. Won't stick because base paper was wet. Oh, it is. It's a little bit damp. Are you talking about that little tiny piece of paper that I stuck in? Where is that paper? Here it is. This one's still, it's just, oh, it feels a lot better now. It's still a little damp. But yeah, I got to let this stuff dry completely before I move on to the next step. You always have teaching is about junk journaling. I never know about balancing sides of signatures. I also love the comedy you sneak in. Leslie, you never know what's going to happen over here, right? You just never know what's going to come out of my mouth. Save the paper. Michelle says, save that 1x2. I save everything, Michelle. Frugal Fanny over here. Frugal Fanny. I do. I save so much. Like I do. I don't know. I get some like weird pleasure out of like using up all the scraps, using it all up. All right, girls. It's time. What else is happening today? What's today? Tuesday. I have a meeting at 1 for the ATC group, and then we are live for the ATC group this afternoon. Michelle, I will tell you, she's asking how I organize all my stuff. Your 15-year-old grandson is 6'2". Devin, I love it. I love it. When it was senior night this past Friday. So it's the first time I've been on the field, like on game day, on game night. Really. I mean, when do I ever go on the football field? I'm a parent. I go into the stands. I watch. You watch the game from the stands. But they had senior parents. So Chris and I, there are 14 seniors graduating, and they do like this special senior night where they introduce each of the seniors and they ask them questions like, what are your parting words to your friends? And who's your favorite football player? What's your favorite quote? What kind of music do you listen to? Like just questions. And then they introduce the kids and like, hey, this is Landon Kurtz, a senior from, or a senior, his favorite quote is this, his favorite color is that, like just random bits about each of the kids. So we're walking with Landon, and I was like looking up at the kids, and so many of them are over 6 feet. I'm like, these boys have gotten big, and I've known them since they were babies. So it's really just glorious to watch these boys grow into men right in front of your eyes. It's just been so fun. All right, so how do I keep organized? So Michelle, this is I use bins to organize myself. So when I'm working with a project or on a project, I have these 12x12 bins because I like to have several books going at once. So in between sessions, what I do is all of the materials, like I've already used, this was the cover material, and I have a piece left of it. So I will use that in the book somewhere. All of the materials that I've been using, I don't want to forget to maybe work in some of this washi tape that I just used. So I'll put that in there. This all goes in this bin until the next time I'm ready to work on it. Okay, the bins are 12x12, so they fit 12x12 paper perfectly. And then I'll take, here's my book cover. Here are all of my bits. I don't want to lose them because they match my book, right? So I want them to stay coordinated. I want to use these to make tags and embellishments on the back of my postcards, or, somehow we'll use them, make belly bands out of them, whatever. So I'll take all of the elements of this book as I'm creating it and stick it in this bin until the next time I'm ready to use it. These, because I know these are all the pages that are going together in this signature, I'm going to paper clip together. This one, I don't have anything wet in here. So I think I'm going to fold this down and put it underneath so it starts to flatten. This is still wet, but these are all the other signature pages that I want together. I paper clip them normally. That's not going to hurt the fact that this one still needs to dry a little bit. There's my cover. They all go in the same. When I have something drying, this is big enough that yesterday this was still drying, my cover. It had the glue all over it. And I put away the bin with that just on top, and it will dry of its own time. The next time I come back to it, everything's dry and ready to go, and it's all in one bin. And I label them. I have labels that I put on here. I just handwrite. And let me see, I could turn this camera. I'm trying to see how I can show you, Michelle. Oh, hold on. I'm trying to show you. So I have a shelf over here. There's my shelf with all my bins. They have a variety of junk journals in them, or projects. Most of them are junk journals. I have one for ATC cards. I have a bin for Memorydex cards that are kind of in the works, or Memorydex, like my supplies for my Memorydex cards, like my punch. It's the only thing I'm going to use that punch for. So it doesn't go in my punch drawer. It goes in the drawer, the box for Memorydex cards. I do use them for projects. So my projects are organized in here, but I also use them for supplies. So I have a bin for paper scraps that I've been transferring those paper scraps from the bin into a telephone book and into a like a, you know, just like a novel book, a smaller novel book, so I can use those collaged sheets in the future for backgrounds for projects to make, like, you know, envelopes for my books or whatever I want to use them for. So this bin system, I've been doing it for probably a year and a half since I started the subscribers, really, because they were the first persons that I revealed it to, the first people. And that was about a year and a half ago. So it's been a long time I've been using this bin system, and I'm loving it. It really works well for me, and it keeps my room organized. Was I in a Kelly Ray Roberts flying lesson? No. What? I love Kelly Ray Roberts, but no, I don't know what that means, Michelle. Yes, Patty, I will see you in the ATC group at 4:00. 4 Central. What did you see something, Kelly Ray Roberts? Because I love her. There's probably something of hers hanging here. Is there? I'm looking around. What did you see? What did you see? That's so funny. All right. Anyway, private message me, Miss Michelle. All right, girls, have a beautiful, blessed day. Those of you in the ATC subscription box, I will see you at 4:00. Subscribers, I had so much fun starting this book with you, and I hope you don't mind. I'm sharing it out there. I debated just doing this with subscribers, but I'm too excited to work on the book. So next week when I get together with subscribers again, we'll probably have the flower letter. So I'll probably read the flower letter to you, and maybe I'll show you, Mary, that book. I got to pull that book up from my stash and put subscribers on it. So I remember to show you that book, the letters from two mothers from famous sons. All right, you guys, love you all. Have a beautiful, blessed day. Bye.